Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a great morning, day, night, whatever you're watching this. Today, I'm going to share with you my warm-up. This, I feel, has helped me get as the best mechanics that I've had for, my history of playing Rocket League. It will not help you with insane flip resets or, any sort of special, cool, fancy mechanics. It's just going to work on your base mechanics and help you get more efficient with certain things. So we're going to start off with the warm-up for PC players. It is going to be a little bit different for console players since, of course, there's not workshop map availability on console yet. But let's start right into it. I'm going to put both warm-ups in the description. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. Or you can add me on Discord and DM me there. I'm happy to answer anything you guys have for me. So, all right, first we start off with some rings. So there's two options. Warmup A for PC is going to be Lethamyr's Giant Rings map, and then Warmup B is Speed Jump Rings 3 by DMC. Basically, the reason why I'm doing two of some of these is so that there's not, so it's not all muscle memory, and that you're kind of trying to build muscle memory without building, very specific muscle memory. So by doing, one this day and one the next day, hopefully it should kind of give you some variety so that you're not always taking the same exact path. So basically, if you're starting out and you're a little bit newer, you can start with the just right side up spins. If you're really trying to improve, maybe throw in. Oh, it depends how fast you want to go. So something that I found useful can be going backwards, turning backwards. This is kind of how I started back when I didn't know how to do rings at all. Is once I got forwards down, I kind of did backwards and sideways. Just having these awkward angles really does help. It kind of helps you understand more of how to use your sticks in different positions. So, try different angles, go forward, backward. Once you got that down, that's when you can kind of change it up. Maybe throw in some regular air roll, here and there. Whatever you're used to, whatever you've been working with. If you can get that really well, as you see, I haven't done that way for a while. If you get that really well, start throwing in a, directional air roll. Get used to it in little spurts here and there. Don't have to go all at once, but eventually you'll start looking like this. Okay, well, yeah, maybe you'll hit that, but you'll start looking like this. You'll get the spins down. What I actually end up doing is I end up holding the spin button, and I find that this is my personal favorite way to do it. But I've heard it suggested that you can. Well, I think it's actually even better, to be honest, to stop in random spots. That was kind of a bad random spot, but like here, and then just kind of figure it out and go a little bit again, and then okay, I either end up forwards or backwards, but that's all right. So I did it again. Maybe it's something with the fetting, just however you wanna do it. Start basic, like I said. Start simple, straight up, backwards, sideways. Get more complicated, a little bit more complicated, and then final product however you want to be looking, tornado spins. So just ramp it up a little bit at a time. No stress. You don't have to be perfect. So next is going to be a drill that's called the 360 degree no roll drill, and I actually learned this from my Rocket League coach GreenwarriorRL, and I'm sure he probably isn't the one who invented it, but I'm not sure exactly where it came from. But basically, you go into free play, whatever map you'd like, put on ball cam, and then just start going around the ball in a 360 degree circle, and try holding boosts and not falling. The other thing you want to do is not use any air roll at all. So basically, this is going to force you to learn how to control your car without air roll, so that in any sort of situation, you can basically figure out where your car needs to go, whether you're spinning or not. So this is really good. It is really hard to do when you start. So obviously, like the rings map, you can start slow. You don't have to go all at once. What I would recommend doing is trying to go as long as you can, and if you feel you're going to hit a wall, then maybe stop, readjust, something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but do the best you can, and this will help a lot. I think this is the best drill for flying, and let it speak for itself. So next up is going to be dribbling challenge 2. This will be either the dribble challenge number 2 by French Fries or Lethamyr's what is it? Lethamyr's Dribble Challenge. So this one, I would recommend if you're just starting off dribbling, don't even throw Let's Dribble Challenge in one of your days. That's kind of for more advanced dribblers. It's a really hard dribbling challenge, and this is plenty perfect. This will get what you need out of it. So for 5 minutes, you're gonna do this, and try and get as far as you can. Try and go as fast as you can every day. Use the end of levels to work on your flicks. So whatever kind of flicks you'd like. And you see there we ended up flicking over. So, but you do whatever kind of flicks you want to do, or you can try a grounded air dribble. So anything you want, just do something at the end of levels. Try not just letting it go. Try sort of flicking into the end or air dribbling the end. Whatever you feel you want to work on. You could do like a wave dash or whatever in there. I'm not good at those, but you get the point. So. Next up is going to be 2.5 minutes of 360 dribbles. I believe I heard from an example video that this is the thing that just made his dribbling lock in, and I can see why. It's really tough to do. It's really tough to pull off, and I must say though that doing it 2.5 minutes a day does actually make it better. Maybe not right away. You probably won't see improvement right away, especially if you're not the best dribbler. But definitely give it a shot. You're probably gonna struggle at first, but once you kind of figure out the combination of drifting, reversing, going forward, boosts, it's a lot of moving pieces in one. But that will really help. But it is a limited time, 2.5 minutes, so you don't have to throw your controller across the room or anything. But once you're done with that, you're gonna do front foot flicks and back foot flicks. I know, some people have told me that these don't really get used a lot in game, and you're gonna be trying to do more advanced flicks or whatever. But definitely if you're working on your basic skills, I would for sure do this. So just doing 5 front foot flicks and 5 back foot flips to start. Just make sure you get a solid flick. Don't I usually try not to count the flubs. Like I wouldn't. That one was okay. I probably wouldn't count it. I definitely wouldn't count that. So that's kind of what you're looking out for, is just get a decent flick, get a little bit of power, a little bit of height out of it. Something that's going to trip up a defender or just make it go over a defender's head. Same thing with these flicks. If you really want, you can practice getting these towards the backboard. So just sending them up backboard, can be a good pass opportunity for your teammate in twos or something. As you see, we got a lot of power out of that. Your teammate could follow that up pretty easy. So it is a useful skill to have in your arsenal if you're trying to change it up. Next is going to be 45-degree flicks. These are hard, so obviously, once again, if you're a newer player, don't even worry about these. Kind of get the other stuff down first. Focus on the dribbling, get the dribbling down first. Maybe even work on some catches. But yeah, the 45-degree flicks, I'm not perfect at these, but once again, that's why we try and get some decent ones. And FYI, none of these have to be shot on net. It's not necessarily about getting accuracy with them. It's just about getting muscle memory of the mechanic itself and trying to get the power you would like out of it. And do 5 on each side for these. So once you've done 5 on the one side, do 5 on the other side. Can always improve. After that, we're gonna do 5 minutes of air dribbling in either air dribble melee or air dribble hoops. I like air dribble melee as it's a little bit easier. I know air dribbling is a really tough mechanic to learn in general, but it starts off pretty easy, pretty slow. All you really need to do is get a good pop on the first level, and then this one, okay, level 2 is pretty hard. I will admit, I think level 3 is probably even easier than level 2. So if you really want to cheese this one, you can just use box mod and just bring the ball over here, and then just kind of skip level 3, or not skip level 3, skip level 2, because like I said, then this one is just kind of a balancing act. It's a little tough to pull off, but I think it is ultimately easier than level 2 because of how much speed you are able to get off this ramp. But ultimately, just stay under the ball. Pretty self-explanatory. You do get a flip if you don't jump off, so you can use your flip if you need to. Obviously, I wasn't close to the ball there, but that works. But I really like that map for air dribbling. And by the way, all these are going to be in the description below. I'll link every single map so that you guys know where to find these. If you are on Steam or Epic, you can do them. You can do them both. I will also link a video for Spookluke's channel, he's got I'll link the specific video that helps you with custom maps and setting those up, because I think he explains it really well, and it's a nice, short, well-done video. So next, well, I'll just show you the other map, the air dribble hoops. It is a little bit harder. You're probably gonna get stuck on the first couple levels. Once again, kind of like Leth's dribble challenges. Don't even worry about it if you're a newer player to air dribbling. The first level is not too bad. The nice thing about this one is the setups kind of end up being more so off your hood, and you have to force yourself to pop up the ball. I really like level 2 on this for that reason. It starts you into getting the pop right, and then level 3 is just, you know, popping and a little bit of distance. Level 4, this level might get you stuck, but once again, that's why there's the other map, and you're not doing this map every single day and, you know, getting hard stuck here, because I won't lie, I am still kind of hard stuck here to this day, but, you know, it's a work in progress. So after that, for 2.5 minutes, you're going to either do Air Dribble Challenge or Air Dribble Gauntlet. Basically, the thought process here is Air Dribble Challenge works on your dribbles going upwards, or at least attempts to. You know, it's obviously not perfect, but when you see someone like DLG doing this, he's going up, he's just getting to the ceiling. So another good thing with this is it is good, in my opinion, for helping you learn flip resets. So, you know, just if you're falling and you can't get any height out of it, go for the reset. I don't know why I'm doing a Fennec, by the way. You know, maybe some copium here, but I am an Octane main, and maybe that's why I'm not doing so well here. But yeah, so use it, you know, just try and get as long as time as possible, not dropping the ball, and then use a flip reset if you need to. But just for 2.5 minutes, just kind of gets you thinking about direction with your aerials, with your air dribbles, I mean. So in the other side of that is the Air Dribble Gauntlet, and this is really hard. So once again, if you're a beginner to air dribbles, don't even worry about this map. But basically, this one kind of focuses on not only height but also your horizontal, so keeping it up and moving forward. You know, as you can see, I struggle with this map, and I'm a champ. So don't expect a lot out of yourself. You're gonna fail a bunch. But you know, if it makes you feel any better, I can do level 1 and level 2, but I can't say I've done level 3, so that's why there's only 2.5 minutes for it. If you get level 1 and level 2 done, you know, you're golden. It's a good start there. So following that, I have the Iowa Air Dribble pack. I love this pack. This is, back when I was an Xbox player, this is the pack that I used to learn my air dribbles, and I still like it to this day. By the way, if you have Bacchus mod, which I do highly recommend, what you're going to want to do is have the mirroring and the variance off for this one, but you can have the shuffle on. So, you know, like I said, I don't recommend mirroring. It's okay if you have it. I wouldn't put on variance, and then with shuffle, that's totally okay. I'd almost recommend shuffle. So just doing this pack one time through, trying to get every single shot. Of course, if this is a struggle for you, if you can't exactly do this, I would just set a 5-minute cap on yourself. You know, so if you know that you're going to struggle with this, set a 5-minute timer. Don't worry about it. You know, if you're newer, skip the corner ones. They're a little bit harder. Try and get the further back and the up close wall ones. You know, I still even struggle with these corner ones, but it is all a learning process, and we're always getting better. But yeah, these off the wall ones are awesome. And then there's a couple from the ground as well. Those are really nice. But just one time through, get all 8 shots. Doesn't matter if you're scoring them first try or 15th try, but like I said, do set a cap of 5 minutes on yourself or whatever if you know you're going to struggle with that. But that is an awesome pack. And then next is 7.5 minutes of Coco aim training. If you feel your shooting is really good, I wouldn't go over 5 minutes for this. I think once you're kind of in a groove with shooting, you don't really need to do this more than 5 minutes a day. But this is awesome. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go random target sizes and random wall distances, and then go on normal mode. And like I said, just go for 5 minutes. I encourage you to try and get the best streak you can. But you know, have some music on or something. This is obviously not the most fun part of this training, but it is one of the most useful. I will say, once again, this is probably my second favorite drill in this pack after the 360 no roll, because of how much improvement I've seen from it and how much my shot accuracy has improved. So love this map, and that's aim training by Coco. Next up, we're gonna do 10 redirects, and that is aerial shots redirects by Poquito. Once again, I'll put all the workshop maps and all the training pack codes in the description, so you can get those down there. I don't really worry about getting no bounce. If you want to test yourself and go specifically no bounce, you can, but this is exactly why I recommend the shuffle on the playlist, is so you're not getting the same 10 shots. And I do recommend using mirroring on this one to just kind of change it up, focus on both sides. So variance and mirroring, or sorry, shuffle and mirroring, but not variance. Give that a go, and then just 10 successful ones. You know, if you got a really hard one, you can skip it. Don't worry about it. But I just try to do all that I can. You know, it is good practice to work on the hard ones, so don't get too demotivated there. And then we're almost done. Next is 2.5 minutes of speed training. And this is basically just working on hitting the ball around in free play as fast as you can, trying to get there to recover to it as fast as you can. Usually I try not scoring or avoiding scoring, but obviously it happened there. So, you know, work on your pinches, work on your aerials. I thought I was going to score twice in a row there. Get some nice pops. You know, it's not going to be perfect. It shouldn't be perfect. You're going to mess up. You should mess up. Obviously, this is trying to improve your speed and improve your ability to catch up with the ball and get powerful touches. So the more you mess up, almost the better. Obviously, you know, if you're messing up 100% of the time and you can't even hit the ball for some reason, then that's, you know, maybe a reason to go a little bit slower. But I would recommend trying to do this as fast as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's no specificness to it. You know, you could throw in some dribbles, some flicks, whatever you think is going to get power out of the ball. You know, do some air dribbles or some pinches. You know, do a ceiling pinch. Wasn't the best, but you get the gist. You know, basically just kind of mess around in free play, but do be focused on at least maintaining your speed. You know, you don't want to have the worst recoveries in the world, so make sure you're getting decent recoveries. And yeah, that's all there is to it. I just really like this one. It's kind of basically playing a game, but by yourself. So it kind of helps you get into the groove a little bit faster. So ultimately, if you wanted to add a couple more minutes to this, you could. It's totally fine. But yeah, that is speed training. And then last but not least, there's a great pack called the Ultimate Warmup by Hinata. And honestly, if there was anything to take away from this and you decide that this warm-up is too long and, you know, this is the only thing that you want to do, then that's fine. All 50 shots from this pack are great. And I think I've said before, if I was going to do a standalone warm-up, I think this is what it would be, is just this pack. It's got redirects in it. It's got air dribble setups, you know, double tap setups, everything you need, some ground shots and stuff. So this is just a nice finish to the warm-up. I do it after the speed training on purpose, just so I'm kind of warmed up in the field and am ready for whatever comes at me. So 10 successful shots, however you'd like them. You know, they don't have to be perfect. You know, like that flip reset, maybe I'd take it on a day where I'm feeling like I just want to get to the game or whatever. But, you know, do try and get 10. Once again, if there's a really hard shot, skip it if you like. But that is the warm-up. And there is 2 warm-ups from that. There's warm-up A and warm-up B. Like I said, there's a couple different options for maps like Leth rings or speed jump rings 3. What happens is I end up doing the easier of the 2 workshop maps on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And if I need a day off, I'll take one of those days off. And then I do the harder maps on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Obviously, if you can't play every single day, I would try and, you know, figure out the days that you can play. Maybe if you can only do 4 days a week. You know, if you're feeling like you're going to benefit out of the easier ones a little bit more, do the easier ones 3 days a week and the harder one day a week. But otherwise, you know, no biggie. So do what you can, do what you want. You can always have that warm up if you'd like. That'll put it into about 23 minutes because it's about a 45-minute warm up, at least for myself. You may find it taking a little bit longer if you are stressing about getting the 10 redirects or the 10 ultimate shots, but you know, don't worry. It's all about progress and about getting better. So you'll get faster as you go. And like I said, if you can't get the 10 redirects or whatever, just, you know, do 2 or do 5 or whatever you feel you're up to. But that is what I do as a champ player who's already had some mechanics, but this is just kind of refining the mechanics and It can help a lot with that. So next, I'm going to move on to the console portion of this warm-up, because obviously all those workshop maps are great and all, but you can't do those on console. So what we're going to start with is, basically a replacement for the rings, as we're going to find the free play map. What is it called? It is Pillars. Pillars. This map is what I remember back in the day as the go-to for, working on your airling. Don't have ball cam on. That's just going to be a hindrance. I mean, I guess if you really want, but I wouldn't worry about it at all. Just worry about your flying. So, go straight up, whatever, starting easy as possible. Again, you may fall, you may find it hard, but go in figure eights basically. So don't go in a circle with this one. Try and go in figure eights. Force yourself to come back around. You can do this. This is me doing it with, no air roll, which might be easiest for you to start with. And then just maybe, it can be a little bit difficult. Or even working on interpreting a little bit of air roll in there to get the turns better, doing little adjustments, and then, eventually work on getting that spinning, whatever side you'd like, and just doing the octagon. This one, don't worry about holding boost the whole time. I would just, flicker boost, and whenever you need it, whenever you don't. But like I said, start simple and try and keep your nose up as easy as possible. And then once you kind of got that down, make it a little bit more complicated, throw it a little air roll. Maybe try it backwards, go backwards. And then once again, focus on spinning. So there is that. The next drill, that is basically going to be the same thing, but in free play. So you're taking a little bit different of a path. I like this one a lot too. It is basically just flying around the boost pads. I can't speak. Flying around the boost pads. So what you can do is you can start in a corner. So pick any corner you like for 2.5 minutes. I had that one set for 2.5 minutes as well. Once again, this will be in the description. So start on this boost pad. I think we're going to start on the inside. I can't remember. Let me think through this. Out, in, out, in. Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to start on the inside of this corner pad. So find a corner, start on the inside of it, and then what you're going to do is basically just work on flying around the boost pads on the edge of the map. Do this for 2.5 minutes. Switch directions if you'd like, but ultimately just try and do the best you can to not miss any of them. But once again, this is another great substitute for rings maps, which can actually be kind of fun. Throw on some music, throw on an audiobook, whatever is going to keep you entertained, a YouTube video. This is really good to do. So, all right, next what we're going to do is still the 360-degree no roll if you ended up watching the PC version. Otherwise, I'll probably have a timestamp in the description of what you can skip to. So for the 360-degree no roll, you're going to want to have ball cam on. Be on one of the maps that has like a circle in the middle, so you can kind of focus a little bit easier on flying around that circle. But 360-degree no roll, basically what you're going to do is not air roll at all and fully boost all the time. So no air roll and always boost. If you're really struggling with this and you can't keep up at all, just try boosting as much as you can and then eventually work it up to having boost just always on. But this is really good. This works on, just figuring out where to move your car in awkward positions. It's going to be really hard at first, but you're going to see a lot of improvement from this. So, all right, next up is free play dribbling. So for 2.5 minutes, what you're just going to do is you're going to go ahead and try chipping up the ball, learning how to chip up the ball, dribble around the field in whatever pattern you like. There's nothing specific here, just kind of keeping the ball on top of your car as long as possible for however long you can do that. If you're on console or PC, you can use the function where you put the ball on top of your car. On PC, you're probably using box mod for it, but on console they have the same thing now. So I think it's up on the D-pad regardless, and it'll just put the ball in your car. If you're really struggling to pop the ball, is what I'm saying. So if you just can't get the ball on top of your car, if you're absolutely struggling, start by doing this, and then see how long you can keep the ball. Once you feel like you've gotten pretty good at that, work on just getting it up with your car. And the best way to do this, the best way I recommend doing this is if you don't really have a clue, is get around the edge of the ball and kind of curve into it. So you can go from either side. I prefer the left, or going on the right side of the ball a lot. It's just easier for me, but basically, yeah, you just kind of chip it up with the corner of your car, and then boom, it's on top of your car. I know it's easier said than done, but yeah, just kind of chip it up with the corner of your car. Oh, see, I failed there. Or what you can do is get really far in front of it. It's rolling a little bit faster, and then take it with the back end of your car, and you'll get it on top of there in no time. So, and then same for console players as well as PC players. We're gonna go to the 360 degree dribbles next. Actually, I lied. There's a training pack called Dribble Training by Verge. That's what we're gonna do next, actually. So it's Dribble Training by Verge. This one is gonna help you work on catching and dribbling from various positions. So that's really nice. Some of these are really hard, but once again, when I was on console, this is actually how I really learned to first start dribbling, and you know, it's really good. Catching the ball isn't the easiest, and you know, once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to perfectly catch it on your car. Like obviously, I didn't catch it perfectly there, but there I kept it off the ground. So using ultimately the side of your car is gonna work out best to catch it. You don't want to catch it directly on your hood because it's just gonna bounce off. But if you catch it on the side, or use kind of the edge of your car, is going to be the easiest. And these are not easy, but that's why we're working on improving. So next up is going to be the 360 degree dribbles then. And you know, once again, if you're not an easy or not the best dribbler, this is going to be hard too. You can set it on top of your car once again if you're really struggling with this, but I recommend trying to pop it up. So actually, you know what? I take that back. You can put it on top of your car using up on the D-pad. So then when you're here, you try and get the 360. It is really hard, and it will take a little bit to get, especially if you're a new dribbler. But ultimately, you're gonna kind of learn this on your own. I want to give you as many tips as possible, and I want to help you guys out as much as possible. But this is kind of one of those things that you'll learn on your own. You're gonna use. I'll just say you're gonna use boost. You're gonna use power slide, and you're going to use reverse. You know, you may use drive as well. It's kind of drive or boost, and then power slide and reverse. I stick to the outer side of the circle, but like I said, it's kind of a feel thing. So the more you do it every day for 2.5 minutes, the more you'll get used to it. Switch up sides as well. Don't always go on the same side. You want to ultimately be able to do it on both sides, but you're not really practicing this for in-game use. It's mostly for working on your cutting and dribbling, and you know, you're fast cutting. You're ultimately getting better control with dribbling. So there's that. So 2.5 minutes into that, and then next we're gonna go on to flicks. So 5 front flip flicks and 5 back flip flicks. Very much like I said on the PC one, just work on getting some good flicks. You know, if you're really struggling, don't have to do them all, but I recommend 5 of each. 5 front flip, 5 back flip, and make sure they're kind of better flicks. You know, don't count like that might have been okay if you wanted to count that, but don't count something like this, you know, something where it just falls off your hood and you maybe got a lucky touch or something like that. Make sure they're decent flicks. You want to be learning the mechanic and not creating bad habits. So next you're going to do 45 degree flicks if you can. Otherwise, just start with the front and back flip flicks. These are just a little bit of a turn and a back flip flick. See, I'm not even the greatest at them. They're hard, but do 5 on each side, and you know, you don't have to worry about getting these on nets, but just getting some power out of them, and maybe even working on your accuracy if you have kind of a target in mind. You know, maybe like the back wall or the side wall or something. But yeah, 5 successful flicks of each of those. So next, what it's going to be is 5 minutes of air dribble wall and ground by Iowa. This is the best air dribbling pack in my opinion. Once again, it'll be in the description below. So, like I said, just do this for 5 minutes. If you're really struggling against some of these shots and you feel you want to practice some of the other ones, just skip through this. The shots in this pack are not in this order, but it's because I'm on PC. I have a randomizer, so sorry for that. But you know, you can skip through shots if you fail them, and ultimately just you're working on air dribbling. As simple as that. If you get to the corner ones and you're really struggling with those, you can skip those. You don't have to do those right away, especially if you're just learning air dribbling. Those are can be hard. I'm gonna guess they're probably easier for some people, but they're a little bit of a struggle. And then same thing with the from the ground. I would recommend doing these. You know, trying not to skip out on those if for some reason you're having trouble with these. These are really good at building the foundation for where you need to be in relation to hitting the ball on the bottom. So, and then after 5 minutes of that, just go into free play and try setting up air dribbles yourself. The best way of doing this I have found is from a Thanovic video. So if you haven't seen Thanovic's videos on air dribbling, go check him out. They're really useful. But basically, the most important thing that I'll tell you is match the speed of the ball and then jump once you're off the curve. So what this is going to do is this is going to put you as close as possible to the ball off the wall, which will really help with getting your next touches. So there you can see I'm pretty much right under it. You can see if I can try and get a better one. I don't know. It's basically about the same, but you know, set them up from further back, further up, wherever. Basically, this is just going to simulate kind of being in game, and you know where you're going to have to do this from. It is really nice to practice going from over the boost pads, because a lot of the time in game you're going to be wanting to get that extra boost pad so that you can dribble. So that's a really good spot to try from. Let's see. Yeah, but like I said, the biggest thing is match the speed of the ball, and then jump once, and you're golden. Once again, for jumping, I'll see if I can slow this down and show you guys where exactly I jump. Slow it down a little bit. So. And also make sure it's rolling, not bouncing. That's super important. But, so yeah, you'll see I kind of jumped as soon as my car had exited, or I'd say when my car was about halfway through the Rocket League banner on the edge, where it's kind of advertising and stuff. Once your car's about halfway through that, you can jump and you'll be very close to the ball. So that's the free player dribbling. 5 minutes of that. You know, if you want to cut it down, if you feel like you're not really wanting to work on air dribbling or anything, then just cut it down. But if you feel like you really want to, you know, maybe increase it. Whatever you want to do. This isn't like the be all end all warm up, so you can make your choice off that. Next is gonna be 2.5 minutes of strength and accuracy, working on shooting. So it's pretty simple, you know, nothing much to it. But just hitting all the shots, 2.5 minutes of this, being as powerful as possible. Ultimately, you kind of want to get these without a bounce, but it doesn't really matter when you're starting. So just get them in the net is basically all you gotta do. Once again, easier said than done, but you guys got this. I believe in you. So, all right. After the strength and accuracy, you're gonna do 5 minutes of ground shots by Poquito. And that is a shot with 50, or sorry, that is a pack with 50 shots. If I can find it here, I probably passed it. I passed it. It's at the top. There it is. Ground shots. These are, ooh, nice switch crank. These are tough. Do your best. If you want to skip one, you know, if you're really getting stuck, that's okay. But once again, you're just practicing on shooting from awkward angles. But this will really help your shooting. Next is going to be 10 redirects. Or, you know, if you can only do 5 or whatever, do 5 or 2. You know, start easy and make it harder for yourself. But I like to do 10 every day. They can bounce if you'd like. If you want to force yourself to not let them bounce, you know, do that. But you can ultimately kind of customize this warm up for yourself. So, but I like doing 10 of those. Next is what we're gonna do is speed training. So if you don't know what that is, you're gonna go into free play and basically hit the ball as fast as you can, as hard as you can, and work on getting there to it again as fast as possible. So I'm not even worried about scoring in this, just kind of getting hard touches. You know, if you miss, no biggie, no end of the world, because you're ultimately trying to improve, and mistakes are how we learn. So if you don't make mistakes, you're probably not going to learn. So make mistakes, go as fast as you can. You know, if it's not perfect, it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, it is what it is. And, you know, you can focus on throwing in a little bit of dribbling, a little bit of power shooting, a little bit of air dribbling, flicks, whatever you feel is going to help you with speed. So also do focus on recoveries in here. You know, you don't have to do anything special. You don't have to like particularly practice on, oh, I'm going to wave dash here or anything, or oh, I'm going to half flip into this. No, just go as fast as possible. Try not to be messy, and it'll prep you for your games. Last but not least is the 10 shots of the Ultimate Warmup by Hinata. And if since you're on console and you guys don't have the option to randomize, what I would recommend for these longer shot packs is to not do the same shots every day. So, you know, if one day you do the first 10, maybe the next day do the next 10, and then the next day the next 10. So kind of skip through until you get to where you need to be. And once again, I know this isn't going to look the same because I do have randomized the playlist on. So hopefully they add that to console eventually, but it's going to finish out with 10 shots of that. So like I said, I'm going to put everything in the description for you guys. I'll put both warm-ups there for PC and then the console warm-up, and I will link every single workshop map you guys need, as well as all of the training packs you need for this. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me or comments on the video. I'll be happy to check and respond to those there. You know, come head over to my Twitch channel. You know, maybe ask me questions there if you'd like. Wherever, you know, Discord, Twitch. So, all right, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I do stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, pretty much 8 hours each of those days, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. CST. My schedule's on my Twitch page, but I'd be really, really happy if you guys came and check me out. So, but until next time, guys, peace, and everybody have a great day, morning, night, and stay chill, guys. See you next time.